Alright guys, this is lesson G8. Yesterday we worked on finding the distance between 2 points on a coordinate plane, but I gave you all problems where you could just kind of count the boxes between them if you wanted. So if you wanted to find the difference between A and B, you could just look here and go, okay, what's the distance between them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. So you could say the distance between A and B is 7 units, and you'll take these notes tomorrow. But then I taught you another way. You're like, okay, well, you could also use the absolute value of these 2 points to find the distance between them. And just go, okay, well, this point A on the coordinate plane is at 4. It's at 4, comma, 1, and remember we practiced this earlier this week. Point B is at 4. Point B is at 4 comma, let's see, 4 comma negative 6. So instead of just counting the boxes between them, another way you could find the distance between them is by using our absolute value trick. And this is easier to see if you're not watching the video because you'll have this in front of you tomorrow. So I'm going to have to kind of go back and forth and you'll be able to have them both in front of you tomorrow. But if you've got different coordinate points and you want to find the distance between them, if they are in different quadrants, and remember we practiced that finding that this is the first quadrant, this space over here, this is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. So if your points are in different quadrants, and we can see that A is in quadrant 1 and B is in quadrant 4. If they are in different quadrants, instead of just counting that there are 7 boxes between them, a faster way is to just find the distance between them using our absolute value trick. So step 1, if they are in different quadrants, you determine which coordinate is the same, x or y, and cross it out. So in this circumstance, which one is the same between these 2 sets of coordinates? It looks like they both have the same exact 4, so we can cross it out. Okay, let's see what step 2 is. Circle the number that is different in both coordinate pairs. So in this case, it's the y value. The y value is different in both ordered pairs. And we can look at these to figure out the distance between the 2 points. Find the absolute value of each number, write an expression. So let's see. We want to take the absolute value of 1 and the absolute value of negative 6. And finding the absolute value of either of these just tells you how far away it is from 0. So finding the absolute value of this point just tells us how far is it from here to here. And finding the absolute value of this point just tells us how far it is from there to there. It tells us how far away this point is from 0. So the absolute value of negative 6 will tell us how far it is from here to here. The absolute value of 1 will tell us how far it is from here to here. And if we add those together, we will get the distance between the 2 points. So we found the absolute value of both 1 and negative 6. And let's see what our last step is. Find the sum. So that just means we need to add these. So we know the absolute value of 1. I'm going to draw a little arrow here. The absolute value of 1 is 1. And the absolute value of negative 6 is 6. So this just becomes 1 plus 6, which is 7. And you're like, oh, well, why did we go through all that work when we could have just counted that there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units between them? Why did we do all this extra work? And the answer is because once the numbers get bigger, they will stop always giving you a nice grid to count on. And sometimes they will give you just the ordered pairs, and it looks like this. This is negative 7, 2, and this is negative 7, 9. And they'll say, okay, how far apart are they? And this is a very sort of challenging problem in this way. You're like, oh, okay, all right. So in this sense, you're just going to look and use the absolute value trick because this is going to be a really challenging problem to do. Darn it.